Rachel's Table does more than just daily rescuing of food to feed the hungry. They also have established the Gleaning Project. Director Debbie Rubenstein joins us to tell you more about it. Debbie, nice to have you here. Now, the Gleaning Project, we'll get to that in a second. First, just tell us about Rachel's Table and what you do.
Rachel's Table is a volunteer-driven organization. 6 days a week, we rescue food from supermarkets, bakeries, caterers, etc., and we deliver it to agencies that serve the hungry and homeless.
And this is the Summer of Caring, as it said earlier, and the Gleaning Project is such a wonderful project that you've established. Tell us what that is.
The Gleaning Project is a project where we take youth out to local farms to pick and harvest produce that otherwise would go to waste.
Mm-hmm. Now, so like, for example, well, we're actually seeing some pictures here, but in a cornfield, some of the corn that doesn't get picked, well, otherwise it would just sit there and go to waste. But the youth will go in and pick all of that so that people can enjoy the fresh produce, and that's local as well. And you're really making the most of the local produce.
Fresh produce is extraordinarily expensive, especially local, that's grown on farms that aren't hot, mass-produced farms. And both agencies and individuals have a tough time purchasing this food when they are on limited budgets.
And you have some wonderful stories to share of the impact this has had on our community and specific people especially. So tell us about what you've experienced as part of the Gleaning Project.
What I love most about the Gleaning Project is that it is very impactful on multiple levels. One time we received a thank you note from one of our agencies, from the social worker who had been meeting with a woman who had just escaped an abusive situation. In addition to providing social work services, she also handed her a bag of food, and inside the food were many apples that one group of students from the actually MLK charter school picked for us. And the woman looked inside the bag and she grabbed an apple and started eating the apple immediately. And the social worker was just kind of looking at her, and she explained to the social worker that it was the first piece of fresh fruit she had had in more than a year.
And something that we just take for granted, eating an apple a day or whatever it may be. That was such a treat for her. That's a wonderful story. And another story as well about green peppers, actually.
About peppers, yes. We picked a peck of peppers.
A peck of peppers.
A lot of pecks of peppers one Sunday, and we brought it to the Gray House, which is in the north end of Springfield. And they distributed them to their guests on Monday, and on Tuesday morning, the director of the Gray House, Dina Calvanese, called me so excited. She had walked to work that morning, and throughout the whole neighborhood, it smelled like sofritos. Sofrito is a Latino spice that is made with fresh peppers. But fresh peppers are so expensive, they never get to make it. And here, the whole neighborhood was able to make it fresh. And it taught us a really valuable lesson where that we had to really think about what produce we were harvesting and where to distribute it. So we wouldn't bring collard greens to a Latino neighborhood, but rather an African-American neighborhood, because it's part of their culture. And we were able to better serve all of our agencies by thinking about that.
So then not only are you helping people, but that produce is going to great use. You can make sure that it's going to the right communities, which is wonderful. And it really is making a difference in the lives of youth. So it's not just helping people, but changing those that are doing it as well.
It's a wonderful experience for everyone, all the youth who participate. We've had some wonderful sort of impacts from it. First of all, it taught us that the youth really want to actively help their hungry neighbors. And from this project, we started a teen board. We have representatives from many middle schools, junior highs, and high schools from across the area, and they do wonderful programs. 2 Junes ago, they held a 5K that actually raised more than $15,000 specifically to alleviate childhood hunger and educate youth about local hunger. And there are kids who go when they're in 5th or 6th grade and understand the importance of this project, and for their bar bat mitzvah they will give a donation to Rachel's Table. One girl, even for her bat mitzvah, purchased a CSA share for Rachel's Table because she understood the need for constant influx of nutritious food for our hungry neighbors.
That is so, that's so amazing, and how proud her parents must be too to see that. That's fantastic. And if people want to get involved and help out in some way, how can they do that, Debbie?
We have a need always for volunteer drivers and dispatchers, and we even have some extra gleaning opportunities that people can do if they're interested in gleaning but you can call us or email me or check out our website, and we'd love to have more volunteers.
Well, what a difference you make every day. That's so fantastic. It's great to talk to you. And you can learn more about Rachel's Table by visiting them online at rachelstablespringfield.org.